am going to be showing you how to create the fabric that joins up with the thumb of our mitt. So this mitt is done with a slightly different construction. We start with the thumb hole, and we are going to be adding the fabric here that forms the body of our glove. We don't want to sew a seam here and have a bulky seam on our glove, but we do want it to be connected there. So we are going to be adding the fabric that goes above and below our mitt at this point. So you have finished knitting the thumb. You've done the increases that are going to be the increase where your thumb starts to get bigger. And so now we just need to create the beginning of the fabric on the other side. So we are going to be casting 10 stitches, again for the top of our mitt, onto this needle right here. I am not normally a fan of the backward loop cast on. This will be the one and only time that I ever tell you to do it, but it really does work, I find, the best for this application. I am going to use the backward loop cast on method to cast on 10 stitches onto this front needle. And so you truly do take a loop of yarn, turn it backwards, and stick it on your needle. It is a very straightforward and easy to do cast on method. The reason that I don't like it is because I think it's hard to work into on the first row of your knitting. And I also think it makes an edge that doesn't have the kind of firmness that I like to work into. But you will see why neither of these things matter in just a minute for this particular application. So we want 10 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we are going to now turn, and we are going to be working back and forth in rows for a row or two. We are going to be, as we have just turned it and are now looking at the wrong side, the inside of our piece, we are going to purl across these stitches. And you may find that you understand as you're purling across these 10 stitches why the backward loop cast on method is not my favorite. It's challenging to get into these stitches, but as soon as we have finished with this row, we are actually going to be picking up stitches along that cast on edge and picking up stitches. You'll see how much I'm struggling. I don't normally struggle to do a basic knit stitch. Have I mentioned I do not care for this cast on method normally? But the reason for it is that we are going to be picking up stitches along the edge of it, and because this provides so little structure, we're not going to end up with the ridge that we would get if we were casting on with a different cast on style, such as the knitted cast on, which would theoretically work in that it would accomplish what we needed it to. But when I did the knitted cast on, it creates a firmer edge, and so you get more of a seam feel, more of a ridge there, and that in the glove is not a place where you really want a ridge to be. So we purled all the way across to the new 10 stitches that we just cast on, and we purled across the 10 stitches for our thumb. We are now going to cast on 10 stitches again. So this is we cast on these 10 stitches, we purled across these, and now we're going to cast on these 10 stitches. And again with that backward loop cast on. Once we have those 10 stitches cast on, we are actually going to switch and begin working with the other needle, and we are going to be picking up stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. So now we are going to be working across what will become this side. we are going to be picking up stitches along those edges. It is easier if we have a little bit more fabric. So that is how we're going to do the cast on for this part, and I will join you with another short video once I have created a little bit more fabric, a couple of extra rows here, and we will see how we pick up stitches along that edge to make the other side.